Okay, Spiritchild here, 1723. This will be the last video of this meet and greet. So there's 3 parts. I'll try to label them right in the description or the title of the video. So, you can watch one and see if it's something you want to listen to or not. But I just wanted to give a little background of who I am. I have some people that return, I don't know, 9 to 11%. Which I really appreciate, and I just want to explain who I am and what my journey's been like, and how I got into spirituality. So I had left off kind of my bottom with overeating, you know what I mean? Or progressing to my bottom with overeating, right? And I'm going to kind of spring forward. I explained it pretty good in the last video, which would be labeled part 2, right? Of the meet and greet. You can go back if you want to hear on that, then come back to this, part 3. So, again, I was talking about the fear of like doing the operation, getting all the information, having one doctor when I moved here in Alabama tell me like she had the operation, told me the best person, and told me how her lifestyle was affected by it and what she had to do to maintain it and how active she was, after having it, and, said it's something I should give, strong thought to, at this point. And I reached that bottom with this. I don't know if I want to call food a drug. One thing I do know in the process that, with all my other attempts to lose weight, whether it was 50, 60, or 75 pounds, and most of it always came back, at least 3/4 of it came back after I get off any program I was, doing to have that weight loss. Was that with food, it's not like, what I did with my drug addiction. Like my body doesn't need drugs, I'm not talking about medical, right? But my body doesn't need the drugs that I was putting into them. So abstinence is the answer with that thing. But in this addiction with food, the little times, and it never worked for me. I don't say I gave it a fair chance, but what I heard at not Weight Watchers, Overeaters Anonymous was, or Weight Watchers, or somewhere, where I was trying to gather, information, was with a food addiction, you got to take the lion out for a walk 3, maybe 5 times a day, at least, probably 3 times a day. Most people are going to have some food, whether it's really a meal or not, that really doesn't matter. But it got into my head that like, okay, this ain't the same as your, your drug addiction, right? That the answer to that was total abstinence. The answer, to getting off alcohol, if you don't have medical problems or issues, is abstinence, right? Your body will recover. Hopefully your liver will recover. Sometimes it don't. But with this addiction, the food, yeah. And like I said in the other video, it's like tied to emotions. I realized I was an emotional eater. I realized I didn't want to feel my feelings. So I guess, let's see. All right, 2021, I got to a point where I looked up a weight loss doctor, and I started doing the things you have to, the insurance company usually asks you to do and verify 6 months worth of you actively participating in the program, and with minimal requirements of at least getting your weight and your BMI checked, and showing that you're putting in some effort to lose weight, and I did lose weight before I decided to do the operation. I did start to lose weight, and on February 2nd I did the gastric sleeve, and it was, it was a changer. I had gotten to a point where there wasn't any fear, or the fear of doing it compared to how much the abundance of weight that I was carrying around on this, very short body, just outweighed. I'm like, really what I got to lose. They've been doing this operation for a long time now in this country, and I think I'm good to go. I felt good about like God having me, because the biggest issue with any operation is like if you go under, that twilight sleep, are you gonna wake up, or are you gonna have any issues where your brain starves for oxygen, And I felt totally comfortable. So, after 12 years of farting around, I was able to have that operation and do everything they ask and, feel the pain, coming off the medicine. I only, because of my addiction, I only took the medicine or pain pills like maybe 3 times, twice the first day, once the second day. Then I switched over to Tylenol, which, probably should have followed out, what the doctor had said, but I kind of thought I'm good, you know what I mean? That pain's bearable, I just didn't want any problems with any type of opiates or anything that would try to bring me back into active using, right? So, the journey began, and there's a lot of things you got to do. And this is what I'll say, basically it gives you a clean slate, and when it's all said and done, I feel you're going to have whatever eating patterns and exercise patterns or routines that you have in place. I believe it's 18 months is kind of the magic of the procedure, where your body truly can really, do some stuff to change the chemistry, compared to the many, 20, 30 plus years of overstacking carbohydrates to the gills, right? So it's been pretty good. I think when it's all said and done, I went in at 345, and we're March 2025, or February 2025 is 3 years, and I'm down over 150 pounds, and I've kept that off. Am I at the ideal doctor's weight? No, but is my body, my health, my mind, my self-esteem, my confidence, all that stuff have a boost from weighing 190 instead of 350? Absolutely. I still do a real high protein based diet, and the other thing is I try to keep the carbs underneath 100 grams roughly, whether they're net carbs or real carbs in one day, 24-hour period. My goal is to have 120, 125 grams of protein and under 100 grams of carbohydrates. And then, continue the water, minimize the caffeine. I'm not there, I struggle. But I definitely get 4 16-ounce things of water in. So this video, this meet and greet was kind of like to give you a little view into where my spirituality, how it started and everything. But this has been part of my journey, right? Getting to the point where I had enough faith to trust God or the universe and like do this procedure all comes from staying plugged in to a spiritual process, right? I haven't been real disciplined, never have for long periods of time, for long periods of meditation. Man, I like the quick stuff that works, but I know from people that have tried to help me and give me guidance that 10 minutes a day done on a regular is a lot better than hour here, 20 minutes here, 5 minutes here, 3 days go by, 10 minutes, 2 days go by, 1 hour. It's better in smaller amounts, regular, and that's what's worked well for me when I practice it, right? Like all this stuff, right? So I believe I've given you a pretty good view into who I am and what my journey was. Like I said in one of the other videos, if I don't do anything stupid on March 18th, I'll have 24 years, and recovery from drug addiction, you know. And on that journey, I learned that you know, the food was the first addiction, you know, and actually now it was the second. The very first addiction I had in my life was like escape or fantasy, because like I didn't, like, again, I didn't want to be who I was. I didn't want to be where I was at. I didn't want to be doing what my family was doing. All that, you know. So fantasy and escape was definitely my first addiction, you know. You know, wishing I could stay out, you know, when my age, when the street lights came on, whether that was 7 o'clock or 6:30, your butt better be in the house because you're gonna get a whipping. But I wanted to stay out there and play street hockey, even when it had gone down from 10 people to 5 people to 3 people to 2 people. I'd be the last person, you know, shooting on that goalie if I could. I just wanted to stay out there, you know, because it was an escape. You know what I mean? Anyways, I think we're good here. You know, if I feel like there's something else that I need to share, I will. But this should give you a good insight of my path and how I can, you know, there actually will be one more part. So we're going to do 4 parts. I appreciate the views, the comments, and if you want more, I just thought of something. Keep coming back. I'll do part 4.